welcome to my channel RBSc CBSE. This is Ravindra Dundra. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about class 10th social science geography first topic, resources and development. In this lecture, we will discuss what is resource and how resources are classified. So let us start. Let me begin with this something known as what is resource. Resource means what? Simply, resource means whatever the things that are available in our nature and which can satisfy human needs, we call them as resources. Or you can simply say everything available in our environment which can be used to satisfy our needs, we call them as resources. But provided that there are three conditions which should satisfy, then only we can call it as resource. So what are these three conditions? The first condition is that it is technologically accessible, economically feasible, then third thing is culturally acceptable. So if these three conditions are satisfied, then only we call it as resource. Let me explain you in detail what is this technologically accessible, economically feasible, then culturally acceptable. So first, technologically acceptable means we should have a proper technology in extracting that resource. Second thing, economically feasible. Feasible means you can say whether we have possibility to do or not. Possibility to do. That means whether we have proper financial resources, proper money to extract that resource. Then third thing, culturally acceptable. That means the society should accept to extract that resources. For this, let me take an example. For example, there is a village, and this village, under this village, government has discovered that there is huge amounts of this coal. Then we'll see whether this coal can be converted into a resource or not. First and foremost thing, what is the condition it should satisfy is technologically accessible. That means whether we have technology in extracting this coal or not. So if we have proper technology, then the first condition is satisfied. Then second thing is that economically feasible. That means whether we have proper money in extracting this coal or not. For example, to extract this coal, the amount which we need to spend is something like 50 crore rupees. Then, for example, but after extracting this coal, we just got only 25 crores of profit. That means here, even if we extract this resource, we are not getting profit. So we should also see whether it is economically feasible or not. Then third thing is culturally acceptable. That means those people who are living in this village, they should accept to extract this coal. That means if they want to accept means they should be vacated from this village. If they are accepting, if they are ready to vacate, then only we can extract this coal. So if these three conditions are satisfied, then only we call it as resource. First condition is technologically accessible, economically feasible, then culturally acceptable. Then so if these three conditions are satisfied, then only we call it as resource. Then human beings, what they do is that whatever the things that are available in our nature, what they try to do is that they will transform these things into resource. How they transform is that first and foremost thing, humans, what they do is that they interact with this physical environment, or we also call it as this nature. So humans, they will interact with the nature. Then how these humans interact with the nature is by using this technology. Then after interacting and after interacting with the nature by using technology, they transform these into institutions. How they transform is that, for example, they have interacted with this coal. Humans have interacted with this coal in the nature by using technology. Then after that, this coal it can be turned into coal industry, or we can also call coal institution. So this is how humans transform things into resources. Humans will interact with nature by using technology and convert them into institutions. Then next thing which we should discuss is about this classification of resources. For everything, classification is very important. Even in a classroom, we classify students based on different things. So in the same way, we classify these resources. Resources are classified based on 4 different categories. The first one is on the basis of origin, on the basis of exhaustibility, on the basis of ownership, then on the basis of this status of development. So we will discuss one by one. What is on the basis of origin, what is on the basis of exhaustibility, what is on the basis of ownership, what is on the basis of status of development. So first thing, on the basis of origin, resources can be classified into 2 groups. One is biotic, second one is abiotic resources. Biotic means simply you can say living organisms or living things. It can be humans, birds, animals, plants. All these things we call them as biotic resources. Then abiotic resources means which are non-living organisms or you can say non-living resources. Example, rocks, metals, or you can also take some other minerals. So all these things we call them as abiotic resources. So on the basis of origin, resources are classified into 2 things. One is biotic, second one is abiotic. Then second thing, how resources are classified is on the basis of exhaustibility. On the basis of exhaustibility, resources are classified into 2 groups. One is renewable resources, second one is non-renewable resources. What do you mean by this? Renewable resources. Renewable resources means those resources which can be regenerated or we also call them which can be reproduced. So those resources which can be regenerated or which can be reproduced, we call them as renewable resources. For example, you can take solar as well as wind energies, then at the same time you can also take this water. So these are some of the examples of this renewable resources. Then what do you mean by this non-renewable resources? Non-renewable resources, those resources which cannot be regenerate quickly, or those resources which cannot be reproduced quickly, they may take some millions of years. Those resources we call them as non-renewable resources. And examples of these non-renewable resources, we can take this fossil fuels, that can take coal as well as petroleum. So these are best examples for this non-renewable resources, because coal takes some millions of years to regenerate. At the same time, petroleum also take many years to regenerate. So those resources which cannot be regenerated or which will take some millions of years to produce or to generate, we call them as non-renewable resources. Then third thing, on the basis of ownership. On the basis of ownership, resources are classified into 4 different categories. First one is individual resources, community resources, national resources, as well as international resources. So we come one by one. What do you mean by this individual resources? Individual resources means resources owned by a single person. For example, a person can own land, a person can own house, a person can own a car. So those resources which are owned by a single person, we call them as individual resources. Then what do you mean by this community resources? Community resources means those resources which are owned by a group of people, or you can say by a community. For example, in a village, if you take, there are certain things which are common to the people. For example, a burial ground, or a playground, or you can also take grazing land, or in cities also you can take parks, public parks. So all those things which each and every person has the right to use them, we call them as community resources. Then comes this, what do you mean by this third category, national resources. Technically, all the resources which are present in a country, they all come under national resources. For example, land owned by a single individual or land owned by a community, all these resources comes under national resources. And at the same time, national resources also includes something known as territorial water bodies. Territorial water bodies means, for example, if this is coastal region of India, we have sea connection from here to here, and from here to up to 12 nautical miles, we call them as territorial water bodies. And 1 nautical mile is equal to 1.85 kilometers. So, territorial water bodies means from here to up to into the ocean of 12 nautical miles, we call them as the territorial water bodies. And this territorial water bodies also comes under this national resources. Then, at the same time, the government has complete authority over this individual as well as community resources. For example, in the process of developing a road, they can occupy or they can take land or they can take house of the people, because technically, as I told, each and every resource belongs to this nation. Then, which authority will have the right to take these resources is something we call it as UDA, or you can take Urban Development Authority. So, this organization has the right to occupy this land. Then, fourth one is international resources. International resources means, again, from 12 nautical miles to up to 200 nautical miles, this particular zone we call them as EEZ, or simply you can say exclusive economic zone. Beyond this exclusive economic zone, whatever the resources are found, those resources we call them as international resources. And only with the permission of international institutions, any country can have the right to use resources which are found beyond this exclusive economic zone. Then, fourth one is on the basis of this status of development. They are potential, developed, stock as well as reserves. In the next lecture, we will see about this. What are these potential resources? What are developed resources? What is stock? What is reserves? Thank you.